Welcome back everyone, Jose Tunugan Crisis here. Today, we're playing some more Grand Prix World 2003, 2001, you know how it goes, it's complicated. So, last episode was a pretty damn good episode. We won our first race of the year in the French Grand Prix of all places, so I can check one of my tasks off my list about the things I had to do. I won the French Grand Prix. Now the only thing that remains is winning it with a French driver, which I think we can do, depends on Panis, and winning the championship, both drivers and constructors, with an entirely French team. Well, except for Alonso now, but it's going to happen. I was checking around, and 28.5 million is what we estimate the FIA is going to give us next year, which we're only getting 11.5, so the extra 17 million, it's going to be pretty awesome. We're already making a ton of money right now, but we'll be able to hire more people. And the people we're hiring right now, well, of course, I'm going to turn Alonso into an actual salary driver. But the people we are paying right now, we can pay them a lot more, and we can hire a lot more people as well. So, what are we doing on this one? We did testing. We did the usual. Here was the plan, here was what I did with my drivers. I managed to fix car number 1 and car number 4 completely, which is what we're going to bring to the race. I kept doing the CFD simulation for the front wing. The good thing is that the oversteer in slow corners is not going to affect us. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this on the previous episode. Not going to affect us on this episode because all of the tracks are high speed, so that is okay. Not doing anything on technology because of course we have to get the hydraulics and the throttle through. We have not done that. Build some spares to fix the cars. Nothing here. Renault still not bringing upgraded engines. We could do so much more with more power points, but not happening. Nothing here just yet. I'm going to see how much money I end up with after building the cars to see if I upgrade the factory to level 3, which I definitely want to because I can build like the supercomputer, which is going to let us progress more the CFD simulation for the for next year's car, which we definitely need. What else have I done here? I am putting some people on Renault to see if we can improve the partner deal so that they pay us. And we are talking with 555 and Katia. And who's that? HP, we're trying to talk with them in case Katia or 555 decide to go to someone else, because they could very well do that. Talking here with sponsors to see who pays more, but there's that. Okay, so the British Grand Prix, the big feature of the British Grand Prix is that it commonly rains, which is why I put a ton of rain points on Alonso and Bernoldi. Both of them are decent in the wet. This wet rating. 2, it's decent. It could be better. It could be 3. But they'll have the 2 will have to do for now. Good thing that Alonso got some wet weather points in the preseason, because otherwise this will be Bernoldi's race. So it's going to be a decent race from both of them. Also put a tarmac point so that our tires last longer. I'm going to enter this race assuming it's not going to rain, so I'm going to give Alonso and Bernoldi hard tires both. The driver orders is pretty irrelevant, so I'm gonna leave them as is. And the assembly, that is ready, this is ready, everything is ready, panic saving begins, and let's get into the race. Right, the British Grand Prix. It's going to be a very cold session, very high wind speed, which is one of the features of this race as well. The very low wind rating means there's a ton of wind speed, and if your car doesn't perform well, it's gonna be even worse. Okay, just the usual here, so let's get in there. So, David Coulthard puts it on the pole. Yet again, I need to see how many poles that's in a row. The editor's gonna probably put that in. With Michael Schumacher second. Now, due to a glitch in Britain, the even and odd positions are swapped. So it's actually Michael Schumacher who has pole, with Barrichello third and Webber fourth, Alonso sixth, and Bernoldi fifth. This is a glitch with the track. Don't mind too much about that. There's way too much race for that to be a significant factor. So we are like 6/10 of pole, which definitely not a bad number considering how off of pole we were at the beginning of the year. To be just 6/10 at Britain on the same tire, it's like pretty significant. Fisichella begins to underperform. Here is the Benettons, and Raikkonen is also underperforming relative to Barrichello. Like, Michael Schumacher put half a second on Fisi, and Barrichello did the same to Raikkonen. Saracen beats Montoya by 2/10. Okay, it's not that massive margin. Here are the arrows. Saubers, Jordans. Mazzacane absolutely destroyed Irvine. 4/10. Dang. The Minardis and the Jaguars. The Jaguars are nowhere, man. It's gonna be dry. I wanted the race to start wet because that's when we perform best, but it's gonna be dry, so we will plan our strategies with that in mind. I'm gonna have Alonso go 24, then 18 and 18, because 18 is the magic number for me to be able to push the car without no issue. I made a slight mistake and only did 10 laps. You might have noticed it in the qualifying thing. In the qualifying, the qualifying, it's whatever. In the qualifying order. So yeah, there's that. I'm gonna give Alonso 24, then 18, 18, because on the 18 and 18 lap stints, I can push the car. Bernoldi, on the other hand, is gonna go with a one-stop, which is not great around this track, but we're gonna see if he's able to make it work. 36 laps of fuel, and he should be good to go. Fresh 5 and 6. If it rains before Alonso's first stop, then he's gonna be in an advantage position. If not, then it's gonna be Bernoldi. At the very least, I hope it rains around lap 20 or something. Well, it goes wet around lap 20 or something like that. Just to see how good our guys are in the wet. Alright, boys, let's get in there. Let's save the game. Lower this to 100. I didn't do testing in regards to race starting ability or orders, so I'm just gonna do this, and while the lap is going, I'm going to alter the orders to what I'm supposed to be using. So, like I told you, Michael on pole, Coulthard on second. Let's see what our guys can do. 5th and 6th, looks like we're gonna hold position. We're going to hold position, good. Alonso, I need you to start moving up. Bernoldi, I need you to start defending for your life. Actually, increase the line defense order. Alonso is moving, which is fantastic. Increase off racing line so that we are more capable of overtaking outside of the racing line. 4th for Alonso, 6th for Bernoldi. This is a pretty solid start because we didn't go backwards. That's the entire total reason why this is solid. We're already getting gapped by Coulthard. Lost a place. Coulthard most certainly lost that position. Don't put the brake out of the thing and reduce acceleration. We're here for the long haul. We need to hold on. Darso Marquez DNF, good job. We're here to just hold position. It looks like Frenzen's also going. Did they crash? They crashed. Arrows with a stinger today. Okay, we're here for the long haul. We're not here to like push hard and stuff. We're here to just gain positions through superior strategy, which is what we usually do. David Coulthard struggling here in the first opening laps, and it's going to be Michael and Rubens leading the way, which is very 2002 of them, I don't know. So there is that. Looks like things have stabilized for us pretty well. Again, we didn't go backwards, which is always a win. Physical is doing his best to catch Alonso, so far has not succeeded. And Bernal is just chilling. Holding, I think that's Raikkonen there. It is Kimi, okay. Alonso 28.7, Bernoldi 35, the effect of weight. Weight is a pretty significant factor in this track. And Bernoldi is losing places already. It's fine. He's on a one stop. Every position he holds is some help he can give Alonso, but he can lose positions as he please. Let's have them push, because I can have them push, because I I'm not afraid of their fuel consumption. They're gonna have enough fuel for anything that we want them to achieve. Let's let the boys cross the start finish line to start lap 4. Alonso holding strong in 4th, Bernoldi just dropping places, is down to 10th. Let's see you later when more interesting stuff happens. We've had some very, very disturbingly early 2-stoppers, just judging from... Oh shoot, I forgot. Increase that to 6, because we're gonna have Alonso pushing. Just from this, you can tell, like, Fisichella, he's on a... It's on a 3-stop. Weber and Coulthard, they are on a 2-stop. Panis is on a 2-stop. Raikkonen could be on a 3-stop. The Jordans are on a 2. Montoya is on a 2, possibly? Saracen's crew made a mistake. Alonso's gonna have a clean stop. Where is Alonso? There is Alonso. I need to have him on camera. Physical is gonna be ahead of us. No way. Yes. Okay. So yeah, but some of these people that are on a 2-stop. They're 17, 16. Very early. It's disturbingly early. And you know, it's kind of weird. You do not expect to see people pitting for a 2-stop this early. And a 3-stop is it works here, but it's not ideal. Even if the weight of fuel is a significant factor, I wouldn't recommend a 3-stop that much, unless your soft tires are really, really good. But yeah, Bernoldi so far is 5th, not far behind Fizzy. So yeah, he's done solid. 27.5, decent lap time, even though he's a bit far away from Alonso, but remember, he's on a 1-stop. Sadly for Alonso, he's been caught up by Fisichella, so he's gonna have to defend for his life. And Pedro de la Rosa over here, I think he's on a 1-stop. So he's gonna finish pretty well. No, 5th. I hope Bernoldi can finish ahead of him. We're gonna talk more about this in the half race report, so don't worry, we will get there. The half race report is gonna be on lap 36 because that's when Bernoldi pits. So stay tuned, half race report coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the half race report presented by water, I suppose. It just started raining a lap ago. Bernoldi's coming in for his planned pit stop, which is gonna see him go on the hards to the end of the race, except not because rain. So anyway, Michael Schumacher is leading, as you can see over here, and he has a very comfortable gap. He has this in control. The only way he doesn't win is if he DNFs. Second is Bernoldi. We used driver orders to swap them because Bernoldi was faster, because strategy. Now he's coming in, he's gonna give up 2nd place to Alonso. 3rd right now, it's that's Barrichello. Barrichello's gonna end up 2nd, then 3rd is gonna be David Coulthard. 2nd Alonso, 3rd Barrichello, 4th Coulthard, 5th Bernoldi, 6th is Weber, 7th is Panis. Panis is there, hello. Physical is 8th. He's on a 3-stopper, so don't expect much from him, except maybe in the end. Montoya all the way over here, maybe he could pipe Fisichella for 8th. And then you have Raikkonen 10th and De La Rosa 11th. So the relevant people there. Just to DNFs, the initial DNFs, where are they? Frentzen and Marquez. Yeah, not much has happened in this race. Bernoldi has the 4th fastest lap for some reason. I think he did some overtake over here and that speeds you up. That's absolutely the way Michael Schumacher has his fastest lap. But overall, bit of a boring race. Not much has happened. But considering it is raining now, things might heat up. We will see. We will see. This has been the half race report presented by water, rain. No, we don't have sponsors for the half race report. But yeah, we'll see how the rain plays. If it plays how I think it's going to play, defend please. It's all going to be a lie. And when the track is damp, it's gonna stop raining and nothing will matter in the end. But at the very least, Michael's gonna lap a lot of people. At the very least, I'd want that the rain hits after everyone has pit, so that everyone gets basically reset. We go on the inters and we just blast everyone with our rain points. We'll see. Alonso's gonna pit in a few laps, so let's jump to that. So Alonso just about to come in. The only thing that could stop him from coming out of the lead in second is... Coming out of the lead in second, that's... English is hard. It's a slow stop, or at the very least ahead of Bernoldi. He's not gonna get a slow stop, he's gonna get a good stop, he should be ahead of Bernoldi. He should... Silverstone's pit lane is very quick enough for Alonso, let's go. Alright, we're gonna see Alonso on a fresher tire. Michael Schumacher pits, track a circuit damp. Now we're gonna see if it's actually going to rain or if this is just a complete lie. And I just hope it rains because rain's gonna be fun. But then again, Michael Schumacher has 5 wet weather points, so he's stupid fast. And David Coulthard, he also has 5 wet weather points, I think, so he's gonna be gone. Everyone else should be fair game. A podium is in sight if it stays dry, however. Do I want it to be fun or do I want the podium? I very much want the podium. I want both actually, so we're gonna see which one it's in the one that isn't happening. Here we go. It did get wet and sadly Bernoldi is gonna lose out on this one because he's behind. And he's the number 2 driver, so of course he was gonna lose out. Gonna add an extra lap of fuel to Alonso just in case. And good thing both DC and Rubens pit the lap behind. Otherwise, they will have pit here and they will have retained the podium. So now instead, Alonso and Bernoldi did not gain much time with that glitch, but it's fine. We're gonna put inters. They are asking for wets, but that's because they are lower than 2 wet weather skill. Big screwed by McLaren and Williams by sending their guys a lap early than the wet, but at the very least, we're gonna retain second. The question is if we're gonna retain third. I'm pretty sure we are. Michael Schumacher is obviously gonna win this race because he went in, he's gonna put inters, and now he's gonna put lap times in the 124s without assistance. I tell you, I'm not sure because I've never had a driver without those kinds of ratings. But I think a driver with 5 wet weather skill and full rain on the proper tires, it's completely unaffected by the weather. I'm pretty sure that's how it will go. But I have not had the conditions to prove that. At the very least, both of the guys had clean stops. Rubens goes in, so it's now worse for Coulthard because he's gonna lose the position. Excellent, so we're second and third. Panis might gain some positions as well. We're gonna get lapped by the Michael, but that's perfectly fine if you ask me. I'm not bothered by that. Panis in his way to gain a few places. Button into his way to make stops. So yeah, the fact that it started raining, that meant we could take advantage of the entirety of the wet points we set on the car. Michael's gonna lap his teammate, that is a fact, and he's gonna lap his championship rival. DC refuses to pit for whatever arcane reason. I think Ron Dennis just expects this thing to... Michael made a mistake. He expects this thing to dry out, but I'm not sure why. But anyway, looks like it's very wet. You know what? We're pitting. We're gonna pit, we're gonna put the very wets, and we're going to finish the race that way. Put them, and put them. I doubt we can pit both guys on the same lap, but we're gonna try it anyway. No, I don't think it's happening. I think Alonso's gonna be still in his pit stall. Yeah, Bernoldi's gonna have to wait another lap. He's not gonna lose the position, especially because Coulthard is trundling along in the final sector still in dries. kudos for him to be able to keep the car on the road, but it ain't fast. Bernoldi, I'd suggest giving up the position because you're on the wrong tire. Thank you. And do come in because you need wet weather tires. Come on. This is gonna be a long part of the recording, but I did not expect the track to switch to full wet this quickly. I was about to cut it, but no, couldn't do it. At very least we're lapping decently. I was going to say, maybe DC will get away with it. He pits this lap. Where is Bernoldi? I need to see Bernoldi pitting. There he is. Maybe he gets away with it. He pits this lap and retains, ends up passing Rubens for the position. Maybe he does that. Bernoldi beats crew here, but that's because we only have a single pit crew because of rules. So if you think he's screwed, blame Formula 1. Let's see what McLaren does. They finally pit David Coulthard. So at the very least, he's going to retain that position. They finally pit Fisichella as well. You know what? DC might be screwed by Fisichella. He is being screwed by Fisichella. So in the end, the big loser is going to be David Coulthard. Michael Schumacher is going to make big gains in the championship. Panis might be a bit screwed as well because these guys have wets instead of inters, and Panis is on inters. Big shame. Anyway, let me cut the recording until... You know what? Stuff is gonna keep happening. People's gonna keep getting screwed, but this has to stop at some point, right? Michael Schumacher entered his final lap. It stopped raining a moment ago, but of course, that doesn't really matter because track is already soaked. Don't bother mentioning. Don't bother putting dries. So Michael Schumacher dominated this race in part thanks to the fact... Okay, good job, Benetton. In part thanks to the fact that Barrichello managed to get in front of DC and block him for a while, but his pace was absurd. Even on a two-stop, he was completely unstoppable. As for ourselves, at some point, I do not know at what point, Bernoldi got ahead of Alonso. Good job for him. I'm not going to use driver orders. I gave them the full reign to fight, and it looks like Bernoldi got it. Michael Schumacher is going to win the British Grand Prix and claw back some points from DC. Bernoldi is going to be second. Alonso is going to be third. He was better all race weekend, let me tell you that. Absolutely awesome result from us. We don't get the most points out of every team because Fisichella finishes 4th, and that's going to be 5 points, I think. So yeah, Fisichella's gonna close some points. Ferrari is gonna be the team that gets the most points out of this weekend. But us, Prost, we got 14 points out of this one. Be careful, we're catching. Second and third. Everyone else was a lap down. Coulthard was a lap down. He finishes just 5th. So yeah, the Michael from Bernoldi, from Alonso, from Fisichella, Coulthard, Barrichello, Panis getting 2 points, and Montoya. At least he was getting there, but left it up a little too late. Saracen in 10th, Weber in 11th, Irvine at 12th. Pedro de la Rosa and Ralf Schumacher crash out. Here is the rest of them, 4 DNFs in total. David Coulthard now just has a 4-point lead over the Michael, with Alonso just 1 point away from Fisichella. He will be ahead of Fisichella had he finished ahead of Bernoldi, but I wasn't going to use driver orders from him. Besides, Bernoldi is just 2 points away from Weber, and he would not have been that had I used driver orders. From a team perspective, we're just 30 points away from McLaren. Just tiny bit. They might be catchable. We'd need a miracle to do that. So, we get 1.5 million, that's a lot of millions. Yeah, we do not have cars built, don't worry, there's plenty time. There are 7 rounds left to this championship, we can fix it. Stop complaining. The new technology is ready. I know it's ready, we just didn't have enough engineers. We should manufacture more spares, I agree. Parmalat, Lucky Strike, Renault, Michelin, Loctite, LG, don't worry about LG. We'll get max sponsorship. We have a deal with 555, deal with Katia going. HP is there. Overall, good. Good. Michael gets another win. DC led the grid, kinda. Bernoldi finishes second. Alonso finishes third. He wants to do better. He needs to do better if he wants to catch the top boys. Yeah, overall, good weekend. Let me. No new staff for commercial. Can I get some more stuff on design? I of course can. 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3. Just move them up. Just leave. Sure, we pay them. Don't worry about it. Move one from there. I know it's just one that I want to put 2 there and drop the 4 to put 4 here. Good. And in mechanics, can I get some more personnel? Of course I can. Move 1 from here, then move 2 down to move them up. Excellent. We're hiring people. Everything is going fine. Accept that. As it by the FIA, approved. Okay, we can build more power brakes. And power brakes are good because you might not notice this, but our guys are not that experienced. And they are, well, Alonso's good overtaking. Bernoldi is kind of decent. But the power brakes lets us improve their experience or overtaking because that's the stats that control overtaking, of course. Because the stats say overtaking and defending. Of course, it will be better if experience grew on its own, which it will, but not fast enough for my tastes. Let's build some spares. Let's build at least 5 of them. Maybe I can build a car this weekend. How much to upgrade the spare part? The spare parts. The driver aids? No, that's too much. Can I get technology on the car? I can get technology, and let's build the first 2004 car. It's gonna be pretty expensive, but we're making money, so it doesn't hurt us. No one brings stuff yet. Why? Where is every supplier? Let's improve our power brakes. Let's get them to level 4. Need to be careful with that box. I will adjust that in a moment. I need to be careful with how much I put here because I need to have all of the car, at least 2 of the cars repaired. Stop talking to Michelin, talk to Lucky Strike. We need to have as much money as possible. Talk to Renault as well. And let's see, HP is there, but I'm gonna lower that to 1. Actually not. I will adjust that in a moment. This to 1 and sign that deal with 555. I just need to seal that deal with Katia. Put everyone else here. And we'll see what happens. We should get the deal with Katia, but if not, we get the HP deal. We should be good to go. Right, so time for me to do my testing and stuff, and then come back here and... Now that I remember, Austria is one of those tracks with low wear, so I could be aggressive with the mechanics and have the car a bit worn, and it's not a big deal. So let's see what I come up with. See you in a moment. So I have done the testing procedure as usual. We're going to keep this research point. It's gonna be pretty important, again, to accelerate the upgrade for the front wing. It's gonna be necessary. The program was this one, just the usual calculated stuff. I managed to fix car 1, car 4, and a bit of car 3. Maybe I'll be able to fix 1, 3, and 4 after Austria. I decided to start working on the clutch because it's gonna help our race starts, and maybe I could have started working on brake reliability. Gonna do that later. I want a bit better race starts. As you know, our race starts are terrible. Recently, I discovered that this thing here, I will put out a video on everything I discovered, but this thing right here, electronics, it only goes down. Your electronics reliability only goes down when you alter the driver orders of your drivers. So if you don't issue driver orders, don't bother doing reliability. In fact, never bother doing reliability. It's like, there's absolutely no need for you to bother about that. Distribute a bit the points, a bit less points for Renault and more points for HP. We should get the full deal completion on HP and 22% so that we get Katia. 2 points of rain for everyone, and that's because here usually it doesn't rain, but when it does, amazing stuff can happen. It happened in last race. It's possible that it happens on this race. Maybe I just lost my points, but gotta try stuff. Alonso is gonna be carrying softs and Bernoldi is gonna be carrying hards because I want Bernoldi to be running a 1-stop. And Alonso is gonna be running the 2-stop. On this one, let me increase that so I don't have to do it in the session. Let me dump this one out of the car. You don't need a top speed and acceleration because you want the lowest weight possible on the car, at least, exiting the pit lane. Firm the orders, save the game, because earlier electricity decided to leave and ruin everything. Well, I didn't lose anything, but I did lose like 2 hours or something. Anyway, let's get in there. Österreich, right. See what I mean about the rain? It is here. So maybe I can get some intermediate qualifying lap times. Let's see, let's try it out. Let's see, what's the worst that can happen? Congratulations to David Coulthard for taking pole yet again. I have not checked how many poles he has so far. It's amazing. Giancarlo Fisichella, of course, takes second. Of all people to take second, it's Fisichella. Third is Mark Webber. Fourth is Michael Schumacher, so he's gonna have a bit of a tough job climbing back. He's in position to take the lead of this championship, but now that he's in fourth, that might be more difficult. We get beaten by a Williams though. Barrichello manages to put it fifth, with Alonso underperforming, putting it sixth. He should be about half a second. He should have been fighting for pole, but car's not there, and despite the fact that the softs are good, he just couldn't do it. Bernoldi 7th with Panis 8th, Saracen 9th, and De La Rosa 10th. Raikkonen, another driver that underperforms, even if he's just 2 tenths, he's 11th. Just disgusting. Here is the rest of them in case you are interested, and for once, the wet weather didn't really affect the qualifying because everyone did make the grid. It's going to be dry, it's going to be low wind speed, so a bit bad for us because it's dry, but maybe it rains and maybe things get a bit more interesting. So Alonso is going to get this amount of laps. 28 lap stints and then a short 15 lap stint. I'm used to using the sets 5, 6, and 7, even though I don't need to. Bernoldi, on the other hand, is going to go 42 laps. He can go that long, and the tires easily make that distance. Sets 5 and 6, just pretty simple strategies, like a long 1-stopper, a long 2-stopper for Alonso, and a long 1-stopper for Bernoldi. Should be pretty simple. I hope I cannot push Alonso on this strategy, sadly, because the tire will melt and he will not be faster. That's just because the soft it's too soft, at least in terms of durability. And Bernoldi's strat is a bit too long for me to push him. I can't remember exactly how many laps I can go. I'm pretty sure it's just 23 laps if I wanted to have Bernoldi pushing until the end. So I'm just going to have 42-28, and that should be overall the fastest strategy. So let's get in there. Save, and orders are like this, as usual. And after the restart, as usual, and it's a new standard now. And after that, I just adjust when I see necessary. Let's get on. Someone got sent into the distance. Alonso made up a place. And backwards we go. Bernoldi is pretty much last. It's okay, it was turn 1, so it's a bit more believable, but now Bernoldi's last. I know he's heavy on fuel, but it's pretty absurd. Let's have them push. push for position by increasing the brakes. I could use push do or die overtake. I don't want to, and I'm not going to, but I could. Let me lower the braking now because we're already in the race. I don't want the tires to melt. So, these elites from Fisichella, Rubens, De Michael, Weber, De La Rosa, Panis, Alonso, Saracen. We lost a few positions, and in Bernoldi's case, we lost all of the positions. But there's still chance because this race, this is a long race. Still time to make up for any mistakes, especially for Bernoldi. And Alonso not that far off. He's on softs, but he can make up places, as you can see there. He's 8th now. Could be 7th by the end of this lap. Let's see if he can. There he goes, 7th. Back up to his starting position, and now he just needs to keep climbing. This is gonna be a pretty tough race for Bernoldi. He's not climbing up as fast as I want him to. Let's end lap 3 and then cut away. Yeah, I could have him do or die overtake. I've discovered that the AI does that plenty, especially when they're stuck. If that doesn't work, then he just breaks the front wing. I can afford him breaking the front wing because I have other cars and I could just buy a new car. I mean, cars are not cheap, but we're making a lot of money, so it doesn't matter. But I'd rather him not destroying the car. I'm not that desperate for him to climb up positions. Anyway, 3 laps and Fisichella is leading. Good job, Fisi. I'll see you later when things sort themselves out. Right, so lap 29, actually lap 30. I decided to have Alonso go one more lap. He absolutely could do it because I fueled him for like 5 acceleration, and he ended up running this stint at 1, and it's gonna remain that way so that he could save tire. And he ended up saving fuel. Was that an incident I just saw? I think I saw something like a crash. I don't know where, but it happened. Right, so Alonso pit stop time. Let's see where he comes out. Should be maybe ahead of those Jacks and ahead of Michael Schumacher. Maybe. It could be. Please let it happen. Yes, okay. Ahead of the Jaguars, ahead of the Michael. Michael not having a great race. He's been having a fight with Rubens through most of the events, but so far no dice. And remember, I told you he could have had a chance at getting the points lead for the Drivers' Championship on this race, but ends at 7th. He's having a 2003 Japanese Grand Prix representation, so it's not like he's not having the best of races. I think that's a very big understatement. He's having a terrible race. But we'll see what happens. Alonso right now has very fresh soft tires, so he should be able to gain a lot of time on everyone ahead of him. Even if he's a bit heavy, he should be able to, at the very least, keep up with them. But we'll see what happens. Lap 42 is the half race report because that's when Bernoldi pits, and that's going to be our halfway point of the race. See you then. Halfway through this race, welcome to the half race report presented by... I guess we can use water as a sponsor again. Anyway, Bernoldi is about to pit. Right now, the leader of this race is... Let me lower that. I don't want to have him like take that much fueling. The leader of this race right now is Giancarlo Fisichella, doing a pretty solid job on what I think is a two-stop strategy. I have not checked the pit stop times. It's a two-stopper, okay. Oh, great. So Bernoldi's race gets even worse. He was not going to score points anyway, I think. He was, but not anymore. Where is he? There he is. He's gonna get put a lap down. Fantastic. He's 14 right now. He's like... Pop, but your chances are pretty low. Where's Raul? There he is. Yeah, not good for Bernoldi. Anyway, Fisichella is leading quite comfortably from Coulthard, Weber, Alonso, Rubens, who is right here with our boy, Michael, who still has that dot of a race, De La Rosa and Ralph Schumacher. Now, Webber is on a one stop. As you can see from his fairly long pit stop time, he's on a one stop. Bernardi lost 10 friggin' seconds on that pit stop. It's okay. He'll survive. Physical is on a two stop. Coulthard is on a two stop. De La Rosa is on a three stop, I think. Both Williams men are on a two stop. So yeah, we are in the same strategy Barrichello is, but the question is if he has to pit earlier than us. I'm pretty sure he has to pit on like the mid-50s. There goes De La Rosa. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's through, it's fine, we'll be fine. Yeah, so I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to hold up there as long as we can. At the very least, we're catching Webber, and like I told you, Webber is on a one-stop, so if we can catch him, pass him, and then put some decent laps. Oh, there goes Barrichello, so there's our answer. He didn't have enough fuel, so all that pace is because he was light. Michael Schumacher should be able to pass him as well, considering he's going a bit longer. And us definitely will pass him and end up ahead of him. The question is if we'll be able to hold him. We should be able to. We will have soft tires. So yeah, we should be okay. As for Webber, I don't think we finished ahead of Webber, and I'm pretty sure Fisichella is winning this particular race. As opposed to what happened in France, where I said he was going to win and he proceeded to DNF. I wouldn't mind if that happens again, but I doubt it. Anyway, that's been the half race report. I'll come back to you when Alonso has to pit. So far, we're looking at a 4th place at worst, a 5th place actually, and a 3rd place at best. We should be fine. Right, so it is Alonso's time to pit, and I really hope the pit crew got that mistake out of their system, because right now Alonso is leading. Don't bite too much into that. He's not going to win this race. But he can finish on the podium if maybe, just maybe, he can catch Webber in the closing stages. It's going to have a lighter car and fresher tires and better tires because they are softs. So he should be able to close in the distance a bit, but that would depend on first the pit crew and second, well, the pit crew does their part, and second on what kind of speeds Alonso can put down. He should be up about, let me say 6 seconds behind Webber. So he should be able to close the gap and attack Webber if he can keep hold of his tires. If he overheats them, that's it, race over. He's not going to be able to catch up. But if he does keep temps under control, he could finish on the podium, and that's exactly what we need. Consistent finishing. As for Bernardi, well, I think the best he could do is P10. If he could somehow catch Ralph Schumacher, which I doubt will happen, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's get to the end of the race, or maybe if Alonso catches Bernardi, if he catches Webber in the long term, we'll see the results of that fight. So let's advance. Well, boys, at the very least we tried. Fisichella leading this race. He's not gonna DNF out of thin air. He's not gonna have a massive DNF that's gonna give someone else the lead in the closing laps. Second, it's David Coulthard, so at the very least Fisichella is doing his part as a number 2 driving and taking points away from Coulthard. Third is Mark Webber. Fourth is Alonso. Sadly not a podium this time around, but it's some decent points at the very least. Fisichella wins. Fifth is Rubens Barrichello. Sixth is Michael Schumacher, who had a stinker of a race. He's going to escape this one with, I think it's 3 points. Then 2 for De La Rosa, 1 for Panis. Both of the Benettons scoring points on this one. Bernaldi is a lowly 11. That first lap was just disastrous for him. At the very least, Alonso could make up for it, but Bernaldi just couldn't. Here's the confirmation. At the very least, it's not gonna get DSQ'd, like Fisichella, I mean. Vizcala from Coulthard and Webber, both of the McLarens in the podium. Alonso behind, he was catching, but he started like 10 seconds behind and finished 6 seconds behind, so not fast enough. Barrichello 5th, Michael Schumacher 6th with De La Rosa 7th and Panis 8th. Raikkonen 9, Ralf Schumacher 10 with that arrows, not bad, and then Bernoldi 11, a lap down. The first of those a lap down. Maybe he could get the lucky duck if the pace car came out. So Coulthard establishes a far bigger lead now. He's, well, actually not bigger. He's 9 points ahead of the Michael, so he could still lose the lead of the Drivers' Championship if, you know, he DNF and the Michael won at his home Grand Prix, but I find that doubtful. Unfortunately, Fizz's win moves him far ahead of Fizz's win moves him ahead of Alonso, 6 points in fact. And Webber does move a bit further ahead than Bernoldi, so decent weekend, but it could have been better. Also, the gap to Ferrari McLaren grows a bit bigger because, well, Ferrari is now 5 points ahead of McLaren, with Prost being 30, I was gonna say 39, and I'm actually right, 39 points behind McLaren and 44 behind Ferrari, so I don't think we're winning the Constructors' Championship. We made a loss, but that's because we were building new cars. The dismissal, I don't mind, we can pay, it's fine. Research, we lose research, don't worry. Just the usual, 555. Don't worry, this, we will sell that space to Katia. Sorry HP, I know we negotiated, but Katia is French. Right, so, Katia Solutions, wait. Yeah, it's gonna be Katia. Katia, accept. Now, I got this 64%, and the purpose of this 64% is, let's see, everyone has 1%? Okay. It's enticing Renault to give us that, an improved partner deal. Enticing Michelin, I need to stop hitting the box with the phone. Enticing Michelin to give us the better work steel, which lets us build better tires, and enticing Marlboro to give us more cash. We can achieve that. Let's start talking to them and talk to PSN, and sure, PSN and Parmalat. Good. Now, what do? No one brings upgraded anything, because why would you need to bring upgraded stuff? Okay, let's see, commercial. Nothing new in commercial. I can move people up. That's about it. Design, no one new, so I'm just gonna move one trainee. Engineering, definitely moving people up. Good. Mechanics, absolutely moving people up. 1, and then 2 more, so I can put them here. Perfect. Now, here. The clutch is there, maybe not gonna be able to build it. We get level 4 power brakes, but I have to build level 3 first. That's a bit annoying. Okay, finish the wind tunnel, do that research, and bring the new component. 72%, we should be able to fight for this win pretty handedly. Need to build at least 4 spares. 4 of them. 4. Now the question is, because I could build another spare, I could build another driver aid, I could build a 2004 car. We just have one. We actually don't need to worry about the 2004 cars until like the last few rounds. And even then, I just need 3. Actually, I just need 2. So let's bring the new power brakes. Let's bring the level 3 power brakes. Done. And send the level 4 ones to construction. Now I can just work on traction control. I cannot send that one, so let's just take all of those percentages and move them into our future development program. These are the points I need to get rid of, so let's put them all on. Dust? No. Dust. I have a plan here. I'm gonna fill up the tarmac bar and the dust bar, and not only we should have indestructible tires, but we should be able to overtake people pretty handedly. Okay, everything left is just doing testing. So I think we're done with this particular episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Not as successful as the previous episode because, well, no wins. Although we did get a 2-3 finish, which is the overall best finish we've gotten all year long. Yeah, 2 men on the podium. I think that kind of beats the win, but the win is just so much more satisfying, especially because it was in France. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. The usual YouTuber stuff. Comment, like, subscribe, and support me on Coffee if you really so desire. And I hope to see you on the next one, where hopefully we add some more wins to the stat sheet. See you then.